100 years before the start of World War II, a rail line was built connecting Blackpool to the industrial northwest of England. These railway connections made Blackpool the busiest day trip and holiday destination in the whole of Britain. Blackpool Tower was built and opened to the public on the 14th of May 1894. Standing 518 feet tall, Blackpool Tower was the highest man-made structure in the British Empire. Its design was modelled on the Eiffel Tower in Paris. In 1940, during the Second World War, the crow's nest at the top of Blackpool Tower was removed to allow the structure to be used as a Royal Air Force radar station. Squires Gate, or Blackpool Airport as it is currently known, had its first use in aviation in October 1909, when the UK's first official public flying meeting was held on a specially laid out site at Squires Gate. This flying meet was followed by a second in 1910. By 1911, the site had become a racecourse, which was later used as a military hospital during the First World War and until 1924. Flights from Squires Gate returned in the early 1930s, when small UK airlines used the airfield for flights to the Isle of Man, Manchester, Liverpool and London. In June 1937, these small airline operations were transferred to Stanley Park Aerodrome, which is now the location of Blackpool Zoo. Work on enlarging and improving Squires Gate Airfield began in 1937, but by 1938 the Air Ministry requisitioned it for the Royal Air Force during World War II. Blackpool was the home of 6 RAF squadrons in Coastal Command between 1939 and 1945. The RAF selected Blackpool as a training camp due to the availability of holiday guest house accommodation to billet the troops. Training was based between Squires Gate and the British Army camps at Wheaton and Kirkham. On the afternoon of Wednesday, the 27th of August 1941, 4 256 Squadron Defiants took off from Squires Gate to practice formation flying. One of the Defiants collided with a Boffer over Blackpool Central Station. The damaged Boffer spiralled through the roof of the entrance hall of Central Station, spilling its ignited fuel over the platforms, killing and injuring many people. The Free Polish Air Force made its headquarters at Blackpool after the force evacuated to Britain from France. The nearby Leighton Cemetery contains the war graves of 26 Polish airmen. The famous 303 Polish Fighter Squadron was formed in Blackpool and became the most successful fighter command unit during the Battle of Britain by shooting down 126 German aircraft. Amy Johnson, the world-famous pilot who flew solo from London to Australia in 1930, landed at RAF Squires Gate on the 5th of January 1941 before taking off for RAF Kidlington near Oxford. She was ferrying an Airspeed Oxford for the Air Transport Auxiliary. Amy Johnson went off course in poor weather conditions. She bailed out and landed into the Thames estuary near Herne Bay after 16 rounds of friendly anti-aircraft shells were aimed at her aircraft. The crew of an attending rescue vessel threw ropes out to Johnson, but she was unable to reach them. She disappeared under the ship. Her body was never recovered. The Ministry of Aircraft Production erected an aircraft factory during 1939 and 1940 in the northeast corner of Squires Gate to enable Vickers Armstrong to manufacture the Wellington bomber. Production ceased in October 1945. The aircraft factory at Squires Gate was reopened by Hawker Aircraft in the mid-1950s to augment the production of Hawker Hunter jet fighters. Over the years, Blackpool Airport has been known as Squires Gate Airport, RAF Blackpool, and Blackpool International Airport when it provided services to many European destinations.